Thank you. So again, one feels that he has had some negative impact. What should he do? He should try his best. He should try his best to erase that negative impact. He should try his best. What is in his power to negate the negativity that he created. But one thing we have to know, we have to truly believe this. We believe that our efforts will bear fruit no matter what. I don't have to see the result. We have to do our best. You know that thing called serenity prayer. I don't know if it has Jewish source or not, but it truly is a good way to look at it. Give me power to change what I can and to accept what I cannot change. We cannot give up on ourselves. Right? Mishnah in Pirke Avoth says, "Lo alecha melacha ligmor." Right? You're not asked to bring the ball to the finish line. You may not be able to. However, we don't have a right not to do it. We are obligated, we're tasked with doing our best. We have to do our best. And our best is all that matters. This person became Baal Teshuvah. He went and asked the rabbi, so Rabbi, something that bothers me a lot. Something that bothers me. He has a company. He makes plastic bags. You know, these produce bags. They come in a roll. You rip one off. So he said, you know, supposedly each roll is 500 bags. So I made it 492, 493. Nobody counts them. And now that I have become, you know, more religious, and I know, you know, the value of honesty and the issur of stealing and all that, what am I supposed to do all these past years? What am I supposed to do? It's there isn't, maybe it's possible, maybe it's not possible to go back, dig up all the records, and I don't know how many it was, how it was, what it was, where it was. So this is a question in Bava Kama. Bava Kama says one who has taken money that he should not have taken from others, and there is no way to return it. So what should he do? One thing the Gemara recommends there is to invest in those type of what we call tzedakah that are public infrastructure. If you help a shul, so that person comes into the shul, and now Baruch Hashem, there is a coffee. He takes a cup of coffee. I helped put that coffee there, so I returned what I owed him in a way. The Aderet, the Rav of Yerushalayim, when they wanted to make Eruv for Yerushalayim, this is 100 years ago, he gave a lot of the money from his own pocket. So they asked him why he felt so. He said, because Eruv is something everybody uses. So if I, Chas v'Shalom, ever was not honest to a person in dealing, because every Shabbat they go and they benefit from it. So that way, at least in the level of that Gemara, it's not a true returning, but at least that Gemara says you've done something. Make it. Nowadays, perhaps that's not the case. Make it public well. People are thirsty. They're walking in a road, and now they drink water. That water may be worth $100. That cup of water. So these type of things help to help. Every city has their own needs. I don't know. You know, there's a shul, there's a mikveh, there's an Eruv hospital sometimes, right? That people, like, you know, a lot of people come to shul. The net result is that they gain more than they help, right? They're there, they use a chair, so this chair didn't come by itself. Somebody paid for it. right? And do I really carry my own weight in the shul? Some people do, Baruch Hashem, more than their weight. Some people maybe less than their weight, right? I use the air conditioning. I'm comfortable. I use the table. I use the sitter, and I use the coffee. So these are all they all have a value. Just me being here, there's a value. It's like what I was telling somebody. They said, you go to a restaurant, whatever you pay for the meal, part of it is the service. It's not only the food, but part of it is the atmosphere. You're paying for the rent of that restaurant. They made it nice. It's a nice ambiance. It's a nice setting. You're paying the rent. So if you come to shul, you daven. You got to pay the rent, right? You got to partake in carrying the load. So if one helps that, he's returning perhaps to the one whom he may owe money. That's one way. So this person asked his rabbi, now that I regret very much my dishonesty, what should I do? Again, there's not much you could do, but perhaps you start making your rolls 510 now. This way, those more or less you have the same customers or somehow. So to some extent, or you have 80% same customers, you will return that which you were not honest about. So he did that.
Should he publicize minus 510?
He certainly should not have done that if he's doing it for Teshuvah. However, the end of the story is that just as his luck would have it, 6 months later, Consumer Reports did a secret study. They went, they checked all the different bags of rolled things, and they said this one was 2 less, this one was on average 5 less, and one company on average was 10 more. His company, right? And he's all of a sudden his customers, right? So, I cannot know the plans of Hashem, but perhaps it's fair to say that Hashem was smiling at him. You tried, you did your best. Here it is. Hashem is giving a stamp of approval. Right? He became a very, it is a true story. It's a true story. He became a very, his business picked up much more after that report. But, you want to do the right thing, then hopefully Hashem will take care of it. You help the Eruv, and hopefully that will go, and etc. Now, your question obviously was not monetary. The question is, if I somehow caused another, somebody did Chilul Hashem, so he causes another to have a negative image of Torah, etc. So is it incumbent upon me to undo it? Of course. The only thing is, it's incumbent upon us to do our best to undo it. One cannot be depressed as long as one is trying. Right? How it will turn out, we have a guarantee. It will work itself out if we are genuinely doing our best. We have to do our best. We have to do our best. Now, I don't mean that, we should be, what's the word, very unmoved about it. It should hurt us. Chilul Hashem, Chilul Hashem is not forgiven unless B'Shat Mita Gemara says, Rabbeinu says, with Kiddush Hashem. But we have to do our best. That's all we could do. That's what Hashem wants us to do. Okay, let's go to the next Mishnah. We are 5th Perek, Mishnah 17, Yud Zayin. Kol mi sheyesh bo shelosha devarim halalu. One that works on the following 3 character traits. Harelu mitalmidav shel Avraham. He is from the followers of Avraham Avinu. Kol mi she'en bo shelosha devarim halalu. However, if one does not have those 3 characters, harelu mitalmidav shel Bil'am, from the followers of Bil'am. Just one thing, I'll see if it is coming clear from the words here, and we'll see if Farshim have something to say about it. These three, there's something special about them. Well, I don't know if it's only these three, but at any rate, if you do not create those character traits, it's automatically Bila Marasha. The effort needs to be on the positive side here. You need to actively, proactively, that is, be proactive and go after these three character traits. And now what are they? Talmidav shel Avram Ayin Tova. First is Ayin Tova. What is Ayin Tova? What is Ayin Tova? Meaning? A good outlook. A good outlook in life is crucial, especially nowadays.
Example, please.
Example is, you see some people, we discussed this another time, everything about them, the whole world is out there to get me. It's very hard for such a person to be happy. Right? He wanted to hurt me, and he wanted to bother me, and he's after me. Like, things happen. Things happen. It doesn't mean the world is out to get you. Things happen to everybody. You have to have a positive outlook. First of all, to yourself. Second of all, to others. To others also. It's the half full type of person, but more than just half. It just, envision how, I said this another time. If, we're walking, me and you walking, and you step on my toes. If I think you meant to hurt me, my toes will hurt me for the rest of the day. But if it was an accident, you say sorry, it's the end of the world. So really, even the physical pain will depend on my point of view. It's unbelievable. Somebody asks you, will the physical pain be different? Absolutely, the physical pain will be different. If I think somebody hurt me, it's traumatic. Because it's traumatic, that pain doesn't go away. Right? Besides the emotional pain. The rest of the day, I'm both in physical and emotional pain. But if it was just an accident, he said sorry, and it's not a big deal. So because there is no emotional pain, because I know he didn't mean to do it, it was an accident. So the physical pain also will hurt me for the next 2 minutes. It's gone. It's gone. Because if the emotional aspect is taken care of. So, Haveomer, who does he have? Who could decide whether it's a very painful experience or not? Himself. His point of view, that's an extension of the half, the cup half full. That's what Ayin Tova means. To have a good outlook. So, life is okay, life is good, life is moving. There are bumps in the road, but that's all they are, they're bumps. You continue, you move on, you pick up and you go. If everything is going to bring me to my knees, because why? Everything bad happens to me. You see people, like everybody has difficulties in their life. Everybody has issues and situations. Now, part of the problem is we know our own issues much more than we know other people's. But granted, some people have more than their fair share, maybe. But, if one is like, everything they do is one person goes to do business, so good. Of the 10 people that he approached, 3 of them bought from him. So that's good, Baruch Hashem. That's how it should be. You don't always get 100% result. Right? Or the other guy, maybe, my bad luck. 7 of them said, no, it's me, my bad luck. So it's disastrous. It's very, very interesting. You cannot be Avraham Avinu without this middah. Without having Ayin Tova, you cannot be Avraham Avinu. Cannot be Avraham Avinu.
What did Abraham do?
too much, please.
It's done. What? No?
Sodom is a good example, right? I think the ultimate example is
That probably too ambivalent.
Pasuk says, "Vayigva vayamot Avraham b'seva tova." Avraham passed away with seva tova, serene old age. Zaken v'saveya, old and satisfied. Vayasef elamav. So I don't have a Ramban here, but Ramban says, what does Zaken v'saveya mean? Seva tova means everything. He had total serenity. Everything about it was okay. Everything about his life was okay. Are you kidding me?
His wife died.
You kidding me?
Can it
One of my aunts, my aunt and uncle, didn't have children for 21 years. You know what a pain that is?
Wait.
You know what Avram went through? No children. They kidnapped his wife. He had to give up on Ishmael, whom he really cared about. Believe me, we wouldn't wish any of the Avoth's life on our enemies. What Yaakov in this week's parasha, what Yaakov went through, his daughter. When we say Avoth lived with the, it says the same thing about Yaakov, right? He died, so we wouldn't wish it, right? Midrash Avraham Avinu had a daughter who died. Right? Avraham Avinu, Sarah gave birth to a daughter and she died. Before Sarah. Before Sarah. Avraham and Sarah had a daughter after. After Yitzchak, they had a daughter and she died.
What's the learning of that?
Right, we'll talk about it another time perhaps. But so it was like, last night I was at the Shua house. He said a beautiful thing. He said a beautiful, beautiful thing. He said, Sefer. So this guy is on a bus, and the bus is crowded, and everybody's uncomfortable. Everybody's elbowing each other, and they see he's just in a good mood, and he's happy, and he's smiling, and he's a little bit of dancing in his place. Like, what's with you? Everybody is like just very uncomfortable. It's too crowded here. They're elbowing each other, and you're just in such a good mood. So I'm going to my brother's wedding. Right? I'm not. My mind is not here. My mind is at the wedding. Right? He said the Persian thing. Say vasful eish. Just thinking about it, just being there. It's the So he said. So he was talking about Sarah, but the same thing with Avram. He said, when you recognize, you know what, this is the busy, crowded bus that is getting me to the wedding. That's what this world is, no? This world, the crowd, even more than that. Truly, the bumps in the road in this world is what makes the wedding being Olam Haba. How could that bother you? When Avraham Avinu realizes, all right, Hashem told him, look, up till now you were in Shalem. All these years he wanted a child. I'm sure it was very painful for him. He says, now finally you're ready. I wanted you to create the next generation when you have reached your perfection. Right? So till now you were Avram, now you're Avraham, because 240, whatever, however deeper it means that we understand that he became to the total perfection he could have achieved, and now you're going to have a child. Well, wouldn't he be happy for every year that he was delayed? I could have had a child who would not be really in that level of having been born from where I reached the point. But Baruch Hashem, Hashem was smart enough. Right? Hashem was smart enough to push it. So everything in life is like that. Everything in life, we believe in Hashem. Right? We believe in Hashem. Now, we have the benefit of having seen it in Chumash, and we know by Avraham, but it's not the same case by every one of us. Every one of us. I used to have a notebook. I bought a notebook when I happened to be, didn't plan on it, but I just got this notebook, and then I went on my first date. So I wrote her phone number on the first day. They gave me the phone number to call. So I decided, I'll keep this for dating purposes. So that notebook became sort of my dating experience was not easy. It did not go as fast and as smooth as I expected it. It took a while, and at times it had very dark moments. I felt very down. There were many times it was going really difficult at sometimes. I can't do it anymore. But then when it was fresh in my mind, when I did get engaged, I happened to go over the phone numbers. I had written them, all the different phone numbers. They were duds, didn't get anywhere. And I was able to truly go through each one of them and saw how my own growth, happened through each of those experiences. I went out with this girl for 2 months, and I was very hopeful, or sometimes 4 months. And I really thought it was going to get us. And anyway, my hope was that one more time, that, emotional roller coaster. But then at that time when I was engaged, you have that vision, like, without that, had I met my wife then, we would have never been mature enough. I don't know about her. She knows her own story. But I wasn't mature enough to be ready. Each one of them helped me. So it takes a certain, perhaps, maturity and a certain moment to see it, because I can't right now remember all those details. But that's what life is all about. That's what Ayin Tova means. This is the Ayin Tova of Avraham Avinu. Ayin Tova of Avraham Avinu is recognizing that, whether we call it good or we call it a bump in the road, is going towards that Seva Tova. It's going, this is the hustle and bustle of the station that will get us to the wedding eventually. Okay, we shall continue in Mirza Hashem.